Good morning, everybody. I hope everyone is having a fantastic Monday, because that's what it is, Monday. Good morning. So, I'm out this morning doing my garden stuff, watering the yard, all of that stuff, and the birds are just fluttering all around me. The crickets, and you can hear them. You can probably still hear them chirping. They were so loud a minute ago. And I was thinking about what my video should be about, and I'm thinking, I don't know. And the robins literally swoosh past my head, and Fred, the little greckle that lives in the neighbor tree, is just chirping and chirping and chirping and chirping and chirping, and the crickets are chirping, and everybody's chirping and squawking at me, and so I had to just listen to the crowd. And let's talk about omens. Let's talk about messages from nature. Let's talk about the way that they communicate with you and how to receive those messages. I'm being blinded here. Let's see if this is a little better. That's better for me. I don't know if that's better for you guys. Oh, it is. That's way better. Okay, so let's take a minute to talk about omens and messages from animals and earth and nature and spirit guides and all of that stuff. So there are so many books out there. You can go and get a book. You could order 10 books. They'd probably all say different things. They're going to be really general terms, like water is typically associated with emotions. Fire is either change or passion. There are some things that'll just be pretty consistent, but then you get other things like a dolphin means whatever it means to the person who wrote that book, because symbols and omens and messages are specific to you. And here's another reason why it is so important to keep a journal and to write things down and to just keep track of the omens and messages that you get, because a lot of times you don't even know what the message means. You can't, in that moment, you don't know. Oh, this bird crossed my path, or I had this dream. So here's an example. Many years ago, 2008, so I don't want to do that math right now. Anyways, okay, it's 12 years ago. My brain was like, no, we're going to do the math. Anyway, so about 12 years ago, I had a dream, and I could see all of these huts, and they were okay, so I now know, because I've done a bunch of research on this, but there are Native American huts that are built in the Rocky Mountains. Wiki-ups, I think is how you say it. They're built by the Ute. They are finding them all throughout the mountains even still. They're these amazing structures that they built as they traveled through the mountains. Anyway, so I had this vision, and all I could see was the wiki-ups, and there were a bunch of them, and it was nighttime, and they were all there, and it was almost eerie, but it was there. And so in the morning I got up and I jotted it down. I drew a picture of it. And now 12 years later, as I'm doing more past life regression work, I had another vision, and now it's all starting to come together and make sense, but that's for another past life regression video. I would not have had the association or the connection or remembered this random dream that I had or any of that stuff if I had not written it down and I had not made that in my journal entry. It also wouldn't help me to validate the past life regressions I'm having now with other dreams that I've had in the past, because I write them down when I try to put things together and I'm trying to create the whole picture. It makes it a lot easier because I have all the puzzle pieces. And so think about it that way. Every dream or vision or intuition or thought or omen or whatever it may be is like a little puzzle piece to the complete picture. And eventually you'll have the complete picture, but you have to keep track of all those puzzle pieces. So you got to write it down in your book of shadows or your journal or your notebook or however you keep track of you. Make sure you write it down. So that's the first step into understanding omens and what your messages that you're getting, even your divination practice. You could read the tarot book 100 times and still, let's say the Tower card doesn't make sense to you, but then you sleep with it under your pillow and you have this dream and suddenly it clicks, and for you the Tower card is very specific and it means something very specific, and it only resonates a little bit with what the book definition means, but this is what the spirits have tried to communicate with you, and this is how they are going to continue to communicate with you in the future. The spirits might communicate with us in a weird, symbolic way, but you kind of have to think about it like we don't speak the same language, so they're communicating to you in a way that they're going they think that you're going to understand it. So you don't need to go out and buy a bunch of books. I know that helps a lot of people validate their own feelings on things and feel like they're doing the right thing. But when it comes to omens and information from your spirituality, like from the spirits and your spirit guides, that's going to be really specific to you. You and your spirit guides are going to create a unique language that's going to be just between you and them. You and your divine, you and whoever is sending you that omen, it's just for you. So for me, the spirits communicate with me through the birds, depending on the bird that it is. Oh, here's one of my little guides now. Here comes a baby. So I'm going to have to cut this video short, and we'll continue it later. But don't forget to like and subscribe so you can get the other half of this. Just start to think about your own intuition and connecting with that and listening to your own spirits. And don't necessarily rely on that book. Start writing it down. Think about your own intuition. And eventually, you'll really understand, and you'll see that bird, or you'll see the snake, or you'll see whatever, and you'll know. So, if you have any questions, just let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope everybody has a great Monday. I just have to show you this face. Okay, say bye.
Bye.